Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon.
How are we doing?
Good.
I'm here only because of Safeboda. So I've decided always to represent my brand because I think that's all I have. Thank you, the organizers of this event, and for inviting me to share my experience and my journey and possibly a recommendation on what can be done. Once again, my name is Rapa Thompson. The invitation was very, very clear to me that I start by sharing with you our story and possibly as well my personal story of how I got myself to holding such a nice microphone. Ricky is a young man who comes from the northern part of this country. I went to school and dropped out in senior 4. So I'm highly educated. But I'm also privileged to be addressing professors today. Because of that, and because of that pride, I've also decided to start telling young people, you can fail academically, which is okay, but I think there are other ways that you can also succeed in life. I came from northern Uganda to Kampala as a security guard in the year 2007. And I worked with companies like Security Plus, Uganda Limited. I worked with companies like Sex Security. My last deployment was at the Kamwesi Hostel, where I worked as a private security guard for the hostel. My first digital communication officer was a student that I guarded while at the Kamwesi Hostel. She now left. She's working with Adela. She's grown. I joined Boda in the year 2011, early 2011. When I joined Boda, it was fun. It was very lucrative. It was such a fun job for anyone to do. Me joining the Boda industry was like attending a master's or a PhD. Because there was only one question I could ask myself. God, why? Why are all these borders on the street? Why are all these cars on the street? But I have no uncle, I have no close relative, I have no clan member that I actually know who has a car or who has a motorcycle. And this is true, by the way. So I kept asking myself, God, why? I was lucky that a friend offered me a laptop, which was an HP laptop, and I sold it to a tune of $400, and I used that money to buy a Boda, and that is how I ended up in the Boda industry. Business and entrepreneurship starts from early childhood. It's about the different decisions that we make every single day. When I joined Boda, as I said, it was fun. I did my part as a motorcycle taxi rider, and I did it well. I also realized that during the time that I was in the industry, I was one of the best because I gave it my best. Now, I was the Boda guy who could speak the best English. I'm not the best English speaker here. But out there, I was a star. I gave them the best service, so I had a number of people who believed in me. There was a bar, sorry, the story is a bit long. There was a bar that opened in Mishmash called, on Kololo, John Babia Road, called Mishmash, near Casablanca. So I happened to open up the stage, and I met so many experts there. So one lady walked to me and said, Ricky, I see you're very good. You speak very good English, you have very good customer service. You could actually start showing people Kampala. That is how I founded my first business, which is known as the Kampala Boda City Tours. We started showing experts Kampala in the year 2012. So I became a celebrated border guy by showing people Kampala. So I've also done a good job in promoting Kampala, in promoting Uganda, and selling my country. Now I deserve a hand clap, eh? All right. So when this happened, um, the business started booming and it became bigger and better. Let me give you guys an idea, because some people will think, how much were you earning? At the time when I entered, the lady advised me, you can charge your clients $30. That became the price. I started by taking a boyfriend. Then they came together and I took them on a border tour. They appreciated and said, we're going to recommend you to all the friends. They recommended me. Time came, the highest day, I had 35 clients on my border tour. Each of these clients was paying me $30 in the year 2012. That was around 80,000 shillings. I hired all these borders and told them, you know what? I have work for you for a whole day. How much do you want? 30,000, 35. So they asked for 30 and I added them 5,000 for fuel. So I gave them 35,000 to work for me for the whole day while I am collecting $30 from all my clients. And it reached a time when I would make a lot of money with no education, but a lot of money. So before starting Safeboda, I was okay. Now, when the business was booming and getting better, one of my very good friend that I was working with got an accident around Wandegear. Unfortunately, the accident was a minor accident, as I term it. And he got a small crack. He went to the hospital. He was given treatment. And then they told him, you'll be fine. They gave him treatment. He came back. 3 days later, he came back on the street. 2 weeks later, he started feeling headache. Went back to the hospital. Then they take out X-ray, X-ray, right? And then what happened is, the blood has moved. So the guy needed operation. How much? 16 million. I told them, like, look, we cannot raise 16 million. Even if you do what? Even if I sold all my parents' land and everything, I will not be able to raise 16 million. So my friend stayed alive for another 4 months, and afterwards he died. Every day I would see him, I would tell him, my head, my head, my head. It was a time when, during my border tours, my sale pitch was I provide a helmet for you and show you Kampala, give you a safe ride and all this kind of thing. But after that, I would come back and take off the rest of the other uniform and come to the street as a normal border guy. So I realized, look, my friend died because he wasn't wearing a helmet, so there's need for helmet wearing. So I started off as an advocate of road safety. A one-man show where I was telling people, you know, it's good for you to wear a helmet, it's important for you to wear a helmet. And people started, at the stage where I was working, everyone was like, you know, all these things. They said all those things. I said, you wait. My work will make me a star tomorrow. Now, I continued doing what I was doing, and so many people started believing in me, and they started recommending me. Customers that I was checking started telling me, you know, you need to create a network of borders. You need to formalize this. This can become a business for you. This could be a good retirement plan for you. I hope I'm into my retirement plan. So what happened is I got people who believed in me, and I started working on the concept. And I got introduced to a man who was very interested in what I was thinking about. He was also thinking about it. He comes from Belgium. And we started working on the project known as Safeboda. Our meeting happened around June 2014 in Kololo Prunes restaurant. And then we started the project. It was me and Max, and then another friend came and joined. The guy sat me down and asked me so many questions and what I thought about the border industry. But the reason I decided to work with him was one. He told me, Ricky, I know you want to create all this network of borders, give them uniforms, and then build a call center to connect them. But there's something called an app that you can build. He told me about an app that existed in the US called Uber for taxis. To be honest, I didn't know about something called Uber. I had a Nokia phone, so I knew about WhatsApp because I had those WhatsApp and Facebook on the small Nokia phone that doesn't work. So I told him I know the app. So we started the project known as Safeboda. And at that time, maybe just to throw back to a little bit of statistics, that at that time before we started, less than 1% of the passengers were wearing a helmet. Has anyone been wearing a helmet before the coming of Safeboda? By show of hand. If you use a border and you've been wearing a helmet, so it's like 1 out of what? Yeah. And also, this then means that you are, because Kampala is known for, I think Kampala has over 150,000 border borders. So that clearly means that you are having over a million unsafe trips taken every day. Reports have been showing that over 10 people are dying every single day as a result of border-related accidents. So there's a big problem. Before the coming of Safeboda, less than 30% of drivers also used to wear helmets. And also the quality actually varies. And then when you go to Mulago Hospital, when you talk to the health ministry, over 40% of patients admitted to trauma ward are due to border-related accidents. And as a third world country, or as Uganda, sorry to call ourselves a third world country, as Uganda, we lose close to 3% of our GBT treating people who are related to border-related, who are dealing with accidents. Now, when we started, and this is why it's very interesting, I'm supposed to talk about innovation, digitalization, technology, but I haven't reached there. Because, and I'm going to take so long before I can get there. Because before Safeboda, or whenever we used to hear about technology, it used to be something that existed somewhere. No one had a relatable story about an app that you could closely walk to. Now, by the time we came, it was a very, very tough journey. So for us, as Safeboda, who are we today? Because this is the question everyone is asking. You've said all these things that you've been trying to do, but who are you? Today, we define Safeboda as a fast-growing community of border riders, using mobile technology to bring innovation, safety, and financial inclusion to the border industry. Safeboda was founded, as I said, in Kampala, Chebando, in June 2014, with a mission to improve road safety and organize the border industry and improve the livelihoods of the people who had already been in the industry, including myself. We have a very strong belief that the future of urban transportation is about safety. And border literally invaded over 20 African cities across Africa. And we know that today we have a role that we can play. How have we been able to do what we have done? We went through the network of our friends, recruited drivers one after the other, interviewed them through a process because we wanted to formalize the informal sector. And then we took them through a series of training, and the training starts from road safety, first aid, customer service training, bike maintenance, financial literacy. We now teach them even Oluzungu, English language. And last but not least, we also do an introduction to technology. This is why that before we came to the industry, less than 10% of the boarders were having a smartphone or using a smartphone. That meant out of the 10 drivers you recruit, only one had a smartphone or had an idea of what a smartphone was. So we started by showing you how to switch on the smartphone. The guys you see today using Google Maps to move and take you, they started by switching on, switching off, where is the battery, where is my SIM card, how do I do this? So that's where we started from. And today, we are proud to say we've given out over 17,000 phones in the industry, and that has increased. And that has increased, thank you, that has increased the smartphone penetration, which is very, very critical, especially if we want to build apps that are going to work, that are going to be successful. Safeboda, as I said, with a small community, Safeboda is working to improve the industry with transforming and enabling the communities, specifically for the border riders. As of today, as I can speak, drivers can now save, and I've got access to loans, real money. They can take a bike on loan. They can take insurance. They can also get properties because of the Safeboda platform. We partnered with banks to make sure that drivers can now have access to all these other services that they did not have access to. Because there's been a big question and a big topic about financial inclusion, especially for people like us who are in the border industry who carry our money in our wallets. It's never, it's very difficult to track. But today, with the help of our platform or with the help of our wallet, we can show you all our earnings of the drivers, even for the last 1 year, if he's been with us for the last 1 year. So that is now a very interesting topic that we are having at Safeboda. Many drivers are very happy. They can now pay school fees to their children. They can now buy land. They can now buy houses. And this is the transformation that we have always been yearning for, and we are seeing it happen. And we thank everyone for your support, by the way, because without each one of you, we wouldn't have become who we are today. We are proud to say that the initiative that started from Kampala, Chebando, has now moved to Kenya, and we have also opened operation as well in Nigeria, West Africa. Chair, I think you want to give me more time. Today with our app, I will be fast a little bit. Today with our app, you can take a ride, you can send, you can also buy airtime, which is the fastest in Uganda. There is no platform that competes with us on that. You can also have access to food. The most interesting topic that we are having, and the conversation is around Safeboda food. Someone said safe food. We call it SB food, which is like Safeboda enabled food. The Safeboda food is a very interesting topic, and I want you to pay very close attention because one is we know for sure that we are Africans, and we have our own stories, and we have our own meals that we relate to, that we know. And there are these beautiful mamas who have done a great job in making sure that even after your nice suit at Sheraton, you could go back home or outside and get the nice local food that you know. Even if we can afford other meals, but the local food that relates to us that we've been eating from childhood is still very, very important for us. So our aim is to be able to promote that local food that we know, that our body appreciates, that makes us look handsome and beautiful for the ladies. So what we plan to do is, one, is to get you a meal for as low as 3,000 shillings on your table at your comfort, wherever you're seated. We also want to make sure that no one can compete with us on this. We are trying as much as we can to make sure that we deliver for you the meal in less than 30 minutes, because we know that every time you order, you really want to have food. But that's not the most important thing. We want to empower the network of these ladies, because there are all these women who are preparing food downtown that URA might not be talking about them. They are not paying anything anywhere. People are hoping that they are going to get some investment or become investors and be able to grow and build bigger restaurants like Cafe Java, So Java House, and all these big restaurants, and then maybe they will be recognized. So these mamas are everywhere. When you go to like the markets, they are everywhere. And we know that they cook good food, and we like the food, by the way, because that's what makes us who we are today. That's what makes us look good. So we want to empower the network of these ladies by training them, not only in how to cook good food because they know that, but empowering them into joining like the platform of entrepreneurship and innovation as well. And we want to also make sure that we can use technology to bring them up to date, because we want to talk about the future. And if we talk about the future, then everyone needs to be able to appreciate technology. And also because EcoBank is also here to promote financial inclusion. These women make money, but no one is banking the money. No one can trace how much these people are earning. So it's a movement, and it's very intentional for us to be able to promote financial inclusion. So this is within our area of interest. And also to be able to promote equality. Everyone needs to be able to earn. Everyone needs to be able to work. Everyone needs to be able to be happy wherever he is. And we also hope that once we do this right, everyone will recognize us and appreciate us. It's time for us to be proud of ourselves, build our own products, customized to our own problems. You know, I think many of us tend to say we have problems, but for us as entrepreneurs, we look at those problems as opportunities. So those are challenges that we can take advantage of, fix it, and become the stars and start holding nice microphones. Challenges and recommendations, I would say. I think apart from these people here and apart from everyone who've been able to support us, when we started Safeboda, everyone would ask us, why do I need an app to take a border? But why? Why do I need an app to take a border? Why? Today someone will ask you, why do I need an app to get a local food when I can prepare that at home or I can walk there and get it? Please, let's give audience and support to some of these crazy ideas, because some of these things that we are thinking about has never existed before, or it has existed in some other places. Let's give them support, especially for us who are in the innovation space. We say things that some people take it very difficult to understand, take long to really get it, because the people who ask me, why do I need an app to take a border? They are the ones who come running after Safeboda. They're like, I need a Safeboda. Hey, now, I want to all use Safeboda. And we're like, oh yeah, so now you need an app to get a Safeboda. But because we did so much to make sure that we create the value, before our coming, everyone was like, a border is a bad guy, a border is a thief, a border is a failure, a border is uneducated. Kati, who is uneducated between the border and you who is this fighting the border? Huh? So I think we all have, we've worked so hard and learned so much, and we are very educated because we hustle every single day. The mindset, let's give support to some of these ideas. And then also, there's Uganda Investment Authority, where are you? Where are you? Money. There's, he asked me the same question before he asked you, but now, so who is an investor? And I'm really like looking at my stomach and I think I am also an investor right now. Some of UIA, we need to talk. There's need for clarity on a number of things, okay? We're not criticizing you. For me, as a young person, as an innovator, as someone who has created something nice, I want to take a proactive approach to make sure we can have a dialogue. But the thing is, some of these things are not very clear. We are not sure who is an investor. Huh? We are not sure. There are stories that we hear that it's not good. Huh? So, but also that was for UIA. And then for you, we have our fathers here, especially you who was next to me. Professor, you've worked for a while, you have some money. Please bring this money and invest it into technology. Appreciate some of these things that we are doing. Some of you have money. You have money, you have retirement packages, you've earned, you've built businesses for years. But even up to now, with all those billions, you do not want to appreciate technology. Time is out, but again in a microphone. So I think it's good for us to get local people to actually appreciate and invest in technology. Because if we don't, then we are just talking. Because today, as Safeboda, we need funding. We need more money to be able to run the organization. But if local people are not appreciating us, today now they come, nyagala kuteka mose, and I'm like, but today I'm more expensive than yesterday. So I think it's good for us to appreciate technology. And then regulation, there are a lot of uncertainties, so many things. We are having this discussion and we're taking a proactive approach to make sure that we sit on a round table and inform some of these regulations. But I think there's need for us to have a much better discussion. And then the academic skills, there's actually the last presenter even talked about it. Some of these graduates coming out of universities, so I think there's need for us to fill the gap. Let me say it in this way. This is going to be my last statement. There's need for us to fill the gap between the academians, the people who are training, young people from the university, and us, the people who have the jobs for them. Yes, because many young people who are coming out of universities are more desperate than those ones who have not gone to the university. Omutavayo tinsomye naye nga omubuuza ti osobola kukolera ki anything gy'ompa. And you're really like, okay, so what do I do for you? You're a graduate. I'm a senior for dropout chap. So how do we then do this? So there's a big problem. I say this for God and my country, and God bless you all.